Hello from KAMsnaps. In this video, I'm going to talk about the differences between our basic KAM pliers, which are specifically for plastic snaps, and our professional handheld. You can see that our basic pliers, also known as K1 or K2 model, are smaller than the professional handheld. The distance between the die and where it hits this wall here has an impact on how far you can attach your snap from your fabric's edge. With the basic pliers, you can see that the distance goes up to that first black line, and with the Pro handheld, it goes about to the second line. That difference may not seem like a lot when you're looking at it just in these terms, but when you're working with actual fabric, which you can scrunch up, it does have a pretty big impact. One of the big differences between the two pliers that you can't actually see is how they're built. The professional handheld was built with a mechanism that makes pressing down a lot easier than the basic one. So here I'm going to try to press down on the basic one, and you can see how, hopefully you can see how relatively difficult, but not that difficult, but just in comparison to the Pro, it is to close the pliers. Okay, you can kind of see how much strength that took. Now here's the Pro, and it's just so much smoother. So that's actually really great for people who have issues with arthritis, carpal tunnel, tendonitis, or any hand, wrist, or grip weakness. Probably the biggest difference between the two pliers is what they're capable of. The basic pliers can only install plastic snaps. They cannot work with metal snaps, grommets, rivets, or anything else. Because they're pretty weak, the basic pliers don't really have the strength to press down hard enough on metal fasteners. The plastic snaps, I mean, they're a lot more malleable compared to metal. So this will work on plastic, but not metal. To switch out the dies in the basic pliers when you're working with different size plastic snaps, you would just unscrew this bottom piece and switch it out to a different size. Taking out the top metal shank here is a pretty tedious process. This is what a replacement would look like, and it would entail removing this screw, taking out the spring, pulling out the rubber piece, slipping out the metal shank, replacing it with the other size, and then putting it back together. The professional pliers, on the other hand, well, first, is strong enough to actually apply the amount of pressure needed to flatten metal snaps, rivets, and grommets. But other than that, as well, the dies are a lot easier to remove. The bottom die you would remove the same way as with the basic pliers, just unscrewing this, pulling out the bottom die, and putting in a new piece. But the top die just unscrews like this. So they can be interchanged with dies for other types of fasteners. You would have different dies for snaps, different dies for rivets, different dies for grommets, for key hard fob wear, to punch holes, just a lot of different things that would be easily replaced in the pliers. By the way, since we're asked this all the time, these dies aren't interchangeable. The dies for the basic pliers can't be used in the professional handheld, and vice versa. The dies for the professional handheld can't be used in the basic pliers, and that's because they're totally different sizes. Given the versatility of the professional handheld, it actually functions a lot more like our professional table press. And in fact, both of these machines use the same dies. Here are just some of the dies that are available at KAMsnaps.com for our professional handheld and professional table press. We have dies for the open ring style metal snaps, dies for lines metal snaps. We have dies to punch holes. These dies are to remove plastic snaps that you have installed improperly. We have rivet dies, grommet dies. These are all dies that are used to just poke a hole, and dies for pressing key fob hardware. We also have cover button dies and a bunch of other dies that aren't shown here, which again you can find at KAMsnaps.com. And to reiterate, the same dies can be used in both our professional handheld as well as our professional table press. As you can see, if I just remove the die from the handheld, I can fit them in the press. However, for the press, you do need this adapter piece, which will make the hole smaller in your press, in your table press, so that the die will fit it. And being able to use the same dies for multiple tools comes in handy when you want to, say, start off with the handheld and then upgrade to a table press, or if you have a table press and want something that's more portable, and then get the handheld separately. In summary, which tool do we recommend? Well, if you're only going to work with plastic snaps and you're on a very tight budget, the basic pliers would be an affordable option. You can find them for less than $15. These are really intended for occasional use, because if you're using them for a lot of snaps, your hand and wrists can get very, very tired. Also, they're not meant for commercial use, so if you're making something to sell, these aren't really recommended, because the result, what the snaps look like, they aren't always as professional or uniform looking as our higher end tools. The professional handheld is a little bit more expensive. It's about maybe $10 or $15 more than the basic, but it has so many more applications. Not only will it be easier on your hand and wrist, the results will look better, and it has the versatility of being able to be used to install other types of fasteners, such as metal snaps, grommets, rivets. You can use them for other functions as well, such as punching holes out to place your grommets, removing plastic snaps, clamping down on key fob hardware, assembling cover buttons, and a lot more. So just overall, for not very much more, the Pro Handheld is the recommended tool if you're looking for a handheld tool versus the table press. Everything you've seen in this video is available at KAMsnaps.com. If you have any questions, you can go to our website, click on the Contact Us link at the bottom, and send us an email. Thank you for watching.